Well, welcome to our annual awards banquet. It's so lovely to see such lovely, wonderful, dedicated, awesome professionals of Indiana Trio in the house tonight. Let's give ourselves a round of applause for looking so beautiful tonight. It is so nice to have so many wonderful people here celebrating 50 years of Upward Bound. We are blessed in our presence tonight to have Meredith Perks. She is the regional director for Senator Joe Donnelly's office, and we're going to welcome her to give remarks for Senator Donnelly. So let's welcome Ms. Meredith Perks.
Thank you. I'm the regional director here in our South Bend office, and I'm just very humbled and honored to be here on behalf of Senator Donnelly this evening as we celebrate Trio in Indiana and 50 years of Upward Bound. And I believe there's a video from Senator Donnelly, and he can really say it best, so I'll leave it to him. But I know that he is so appreciative of the work that you do, and I just want to personally thank you for all that you do to touch and inspire the lives of the young people in such a special way and encourage them to pursue higher education. So thank you for having me here tonight and for everything you do. Thanks.
Hello, I'm Senator Joe Donnelly. I'm sorry I can't be with you at Notre Dame tonight, but I wanted to take a moment to congratulate everyone with Trio on celebrating the 50th anniversary of Upward Bound. What an accomplishment. Thank you for your tireless efforts to support Indiana students for so many years. As you know, a better education means a better job and a better life. And with the Upward Bound program, we can make that happen for Hoosier students regardless of their background or economic circumstances. By combining academic advising with individual tutoring, you're giving students the preparation they need to achieve their higher education goals. High school students all across the state have to thank you for helping make their dreams come true. Thank you again to everyone here tonight. Upward Bound and the Trio program have a remarkable history of helping young people, and I look forward to seeing that continue in the years ahead. God bless you, God bless Indiana, and God bless America.
Also tonight we have remarks from the South Bend's Mayor's office. We have in our presence Deputy Mayor Mark Neal. Let's welcome him.
Roxanne, thank you very much, and truly it's a pleasure and honor to be with all of you here this evening. As I'll echo Senator Donnelly's remarks, 50 years of the TRIO program here in the state of Indiana and all the great things that have been done during that time and continues to be done. I've mentioned briefly at my table, I'm a parent of 3 children here in South Bend, all going to John Adams High School. The youngest is a junior now. And I know they've had friends who've gone through the Upward Bound program, and I see what's done for them. And it's truly been an honor to be part of this evening, this 50 years this evening. I would like to welcome you to Notre Dame. It is my alma mater as well, but also really to South Bend. I hope you've had a chance to see some of the campus, to see some of the city as you've been here. We'd like to think we have a lot to offer. We all talk about Hoosier hospitality. We work hard up here in Northern Indiana to share that as well with you all. So I hope you've had a chance to take advantage of that. Don't sneak out of any of the programs, but I do ask you to make sure you do walk around. I know that there's a discussion, particularly when we have some of our federal representatives here this evening. You know, budget discussions are always being had, and we have the same thing in the city. We never have enough money, and in fact, sometimes the money is being reduced, and we're being asked yet to do more. And it takes the creativity and spirit of people like you to make that happen, because every student that you work with is important, and we wish we could continue to reach more and more of those students, and so that's just what we have to do. And so I applaud you for your efforts. I encourage you to continue, because that's just what we have to do, the importance of education. Again, echoing Senator Donnelly's comments, that we know that I always say college isn't for everyone, But for those that it is for, let's give them an opportunity. For those it's not, let's give them other educational opportunities beyond high school, because we know it's so important. And the skills that they learn now in middle school and in high school are just critical for them to be able to learn those additional skills that are going to give them skills for a lifetime that they can provide for themselves and for their families and for all of us who want to live the American dream. So again, thank you, welcome, and I greatly appreciate your work here in Indiana.
Thank you so much for those kind words. Also in our presence we have remarks from Congresswoman Jackie Walorski office, Benjamin Falkowski. So please let's welcome him.
Thank you very much. I share the same sentiment that the mayor, deputy mayor said, and Senator Donnelly. I always joke that I always have to follow mayor's speaking abilities, and this time I have to follow the senator's video. So bear with me on a couple short words from the Congresswoman. Dear conference participants, congratulations and thank you for your participation in the Indiana Trio Professional Conference. I'm very sorry that I am unable to attend this evening's program, but I had to be in Washington, D.C. However, I'm honored to participate in recognizing Trio's 50-year anniversary of Upward Bound, which continues to be a phenomenal resource for our state. Since the program's inception, it has been an important resource serving groups including traditional students, displaced workers, and veterans. TRIO programs provide many resources including academic tutoring, personal counseling, mentoring, financial guidance, and other supports necessary for academic success. Today, the TRIO program serves over 700,000 low-income, first-generation students and students with disabilities beginning from the 6th grade through college graduation. These programs help strengthen our economy by ensuring all students get a fair opportunity to an education. I wish you the most success as you begin the next journey. Your commitment to excellence and learning is something to be admired and commended. I am proud to have you as constituents of the 2nd District, and I look forward to celebrating TRIO's future milestones. Sincerely, Congresswoman Jackie Walorski.
Thank you so much for those kind words. In the house, I noticed that there are several TRIO alum in our house tonight, and I would like to honor all those who are TRIO alum or currently TRIO students or currently in an Upper Bound or SSS program. If you would all stand and let us recognize you as well tonight. Now, we're going to invite Raphael Marin to come up and lead us in an invocation, and so that we can feast on this lovely meal. So let's welcome Raphael.
Thank you. If we can bow our heads. Precious Lord, we thank you for this day and for the opportunity to be here present at this great event. As we continue with this event, let us be in harmony and continuing connecting with others so that we prepare better for the education of our students, those that we serve. We thank you for the food that we're about to receive. Bless the hands that prepared it, and let it be a nourishment to our bodies. And as we enjoy this meal, I want to thank everybody who was involved in preparing this and all the ones that are here present. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Please feel free to dine.
In 1964, Lyndon B. Johnson waged a war on poverty. And to fight that war on poverty, the Upper Bound program was initiated. And it is with my great assumption that Lyndon B. Johnson knew that the only way to fight poverty, or one of the best ways to fight poverty, is through education. And now we're here to celebrate 50 years, and the COE has encouraged every Upper Bound program to recognize a present and past participant of the Upper Bound program. And today, we will hear from 2 current Upper Bounders from the University of Notre Dame, Stephanie Ontiveros and Robert Barron. But to represent the 50th anniversary is a proud participant of the 2nd cohort of the first UB program here at Notre Dame. James' husband was the 10th child born of 12 siblings to Wayman and Estella husband. His parents taught him the value of hard work, compassion, and love for the Lord. Neither of his parents obtained a formal education, but they were avid readers, as he quotes mostly of the Bible. James believes that everyone comes to a crossroad or a defining moment in their life. And for him, his defining moment was at the age of 13. When he made the announcement to his friends that he was going to college, they laughed at him and they scoffed at his dreams. They scoffed at the notion, how can we accomplish something so grand? A year later, the University of Notre Dame initiated a program called Upward Bound. He had the opportunity to receive a glimpse of the program and quotes, "I was hooked and determined to be a participant of the following year." 4 years later, James matriculated through the program, earning 3 credit hours from the University of Notre Dame and accepted into college. James quote, "The directors, the counselors provided a wonderful learning experience for me and for a group of at-risk males. Through their vision and leadership, we began to dream of a future with the promise of possibility." 4 years later, James kept this promise, graduating with a bachelor's degree in business administration with a minor in economics. He continued his education, earning a master's degree in education and a certificate in educational leadership. He's also a certified facilitator of early childhood development and parental engagement. James believes that next to his relationship with the Lord, his parents gave him the value of education. Mr. James' husband.
Thank you for that introduction. The check is in the mail. Amen. The check is in the mail. Good evening, good evening. You know, I was just sitting there thinking how many times you've probably heard this, maybe in your local churches, synagogues, mosques, whatever the case may be. You've heard this. What does the preacher say? "I won't be before you very long," and a couple hours later he's still there talking. Well, that will not be the case tonight. That will not be the case tonight, I promise. I promise. But I do want to first and foremost give reverence to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, without whom I could do nothing. I also indeed count it an honor and a privilege to be standing before such a distinguished collection of people here this evening. So for that, I'm grateful. I thank the Lord for the women and the men, past and present, which have deposited hope, encouragement, and confidence into the lives of so many young people, myself included. Without their guidance and patience, many of our dreams would not have been realized. So for that, I'm eternally grateful for all those men and women who were a part of the Upward Bound program and deposited the wonderful things. And you saw the pictures. I couldn't find a more appropriate and fitting portrayal of what this kind of programming can do. And I'm just amazed that the government or some institution would have the capacity to continue something that's really working. And I am just a a small microcosm of how impactful and tremendous this program has been to many of students. One or two of you, well, you've heard my bio. In addition to that, I have learned a couple things along the way. And what I found most significant is this: it matters little what we become in life or even what we've achieved, except only unless and until, what matters most is who did we affect along the way? How did we change a life? How did we impact a life? How did we help somebody along the way in our family, in our community, in our just mankind in general. I think that's the larger thing. What we are is our gift to the Lord, or is our gift from the Lord. What we become is our gift to the Lord, and we are all created to be givers, and that's what I have devoted my life to. Okay, which brings me to the purpose of my short presentation. I have a question for the young people here tonight. I have a question for the young people. And Webster says, how will you lead? How will you lead? Webster defines leadership or leader as a guide, a conductor, a chief or commander of a group or an undertaking. Leadership, and more importantly, Christ-centered leadership, is an exercise in service, and service to your God, to your family, and to the community in which you live. Just as Christ willingly became a servant for his followers, we too must strive to become servants of those we serve in the community, the people that we live with and that we have a certain amount of influence over. So you can lead only if someone is willing to follow. And you need to understand this, that young people, that people are more apt to follow you when listen to this closely, when your video matches your audio. Did you catch that? When your video matches your audio. In other words, people are more apt to catch on and catch the vision if in fact you're doing those things, you're doing the deeds, you're doing the work that you're saying. They're more apt to follow you. So it's important that we be doers, and that's where the service comes in. The University of Notre Dame is a great one for service learning. They talk about, most colleges and universities now talk about service learning, and you really need to understand what that means. That means it's yes, we need to work, we need to earn a living for ourselves, but beyond that, you know, our next goal should be to bring the other people along, and so that's that service part. So don't miss out on that. So I have a charge. So my charge to you is to be the kind of servant leader others will want to follow. Be the kind of servant leader others will want to follow. And I leave you with this quote by Philip Brooks. Be such a man and live such a life that if every person were such as you and every life was like yours, this earth would be God's paradise. I thank you. May God bless you. May God bless Upper Bound. And you all have a blessed evening. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I don't know how I'm gonna follow up on that. I don't know if I have the credentials. As you can see right here, displayed on TV, Upward Bound, 50 years of celebration. Me being a new person, a millennial, as they would call it, it's not something you get to be a part of every day. You know, being a part of a lineage, a family of advisors, students, alums, and people working inside this building, and people on the staff at Notre Dame, because I know at any moment it can all be taken away from me, and that I shouldn't take anything for granted. So with that being said, I'd like to thank Miss Deb, Mr. Raphael, and Miss Melissa for giving me the chance to speak tonight, and I'd like to say that. To start, Trio Upward Bound taught me the importance of opportunity and giving somebody a chance. I know that I was selected of many students who applied to Trio Upward Bound, and I know that my opportunity could have been taken away just like that. So I'm also appreciative.
and also like to reflect and think upon my foundation, because most people tend to get caught up in their problems and they forget where they came from. And I know that I came from a bunch of advisors from Upward Bound, a bunch of my peers from Upward Bound, and from the good people of South Bend, Indiana. So I'd like to give credit to everybody, so if we could please have a little hand for that. One of the best opportunities Upward Bound has given me was the trip to Miami, Florida, to go take a visit of a few campuses and to see the city. Now, for those of you who have been to Miami, you will know what I'm talking about. And for those who have not been, I will fill you in. Miami is fun in the sun, exceptional weather, 70 or 90 plus every single day. People are out during the day, out during the night. There's Lamborghinis, there's Bentleys, there's new businesses being built, and there's businesses already growing upon what they have. And I was one of those kids who didn't like that at all. I was a little hesitant at first, like, I don't really think I like the beach. It's just water, it's there, it's okay. And I knew it was hot, and I really didn't like being in the hot. I preferred the shade, so I would just hang back. But when I got back to my hotel, I saw that the city was still full and still lighting, and everybody was still moving. And then it clicked. People are still making moves in the night, and that nothing ever stops, and everything keeps going. So I knew that I could network not only during the day, but during the night. And one of my favorite opportunities was being able to take a trip to Ball State and Purdue. I know some of you don't like to hear that. If it's not Notre Dame, put it to shame. But while we took those visits, I was able to grow a connection with the campus and see how I could fit on a university, seeing the staff, the people working, and the current students. And I knew that I would be ready to go to college and succeed. And an ongoing process that Notre Dame has given me the opportunity to is through workshops, seminars, dressing etiquette, business etiquette, and overall professionalism. Because I know that some people are talented, but they need to be molded to become great, and not everyone can be great. And with that being said, I'd like to wrap up by once again thanking everybody here and being able to listen to me, and just always remember that if you don't come from anything, you come from Notre Dame.
Robert, where are you going to college?
I will be attending IU Bloomington. Go Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not much of a speaker like Robert, so mine won't be too long. During the beginning of Upward Bound, attending events such as college visits, workshops, seminars, and so on seemed like it was never going to end. And I'm pretty sure much of you can testify this. Many of us, now as an alumni of Upward Bound, I ponder about all the things Upward Bound has done for not only me, but others as well. If it was not for Upward Bound, I don't think I'd be the confident young lady I am today. This college preparatory program has helped me to set my priorities, manage my time, and follow through my goals with determination as well as diligence. One of the most important things I've learned during my 4 years at Upward Bound is to believe in myself. Like Miss Melissa said, because you are a strong soul. For all these reasons, I want to thank Notre Dame Trio Upward Bound, as well as all the other Trio Upward programs for challenging and supporting their students. Thank you.
And Stephanie, where are you going? Purdue.
Excellent, excellent. As we continue our celebration, I'm going to call forth Ms. Sandra Peterson to come up. She's the Assistant Director of the Upward Bound Program at Purdue Calumet, and she is the Chair of our Scholarships Committee. Let's greet her.
Dana. I would say that Stephanie has given me a little extra time. So we're going to try to be as expedient as possible, but we do want to pay tribute to our scholarship winners. Just a little background on this year. We had 58 applicants for the 6 scholarships that were available. I think I've served on the committee for quite some time, and that's probably the most I've experienced. So thank you for encouraging your students to apply. Okay, what I'm going to ask is, if the nominator is here, and as well as the scholarship recipient, that the nominator will come and just introduce the scholarship recipient as their picture comes up on the monitor here. And if the scholarship winner is not present, if the nominator will come up, or someone from their shop, and just say something to represent that student. All right, yes. Cheryl Berry Memorial Scholarship winner. Nominator, please. She's coming.
Good evening. I'll be talking about Stephanie Ontiveros. I nominated Stephanie for this scholarship for a variety of reasons. You all saw her tonight. I could talk about how she's got a great smile and she's got such a happy-go-lucky personality and all the staff loves her. But you saw her personality tonight. And so I want to talk a little bit more about something that Stephanie has written about in some of her college essays. And that is just how much she has beat the odds. Stephanie has talked about how she watched people in her neighborhood, people her age, sort of go down the wrong path. Girls her age were getting pregnant, they were joining gangs, they were just going down the wrong path, and she knew as she watched this that she didn't want to follow in their footsteps. And she was very careful and very intentional on wanting to work very hard so that she could make her parents proud. And I'm so happy to say that she's definitely done that today, and she wants to go to Purdue University and study speech therapy, and she's mentioned before that she wants to give back to the Hispanic community and come back to South Bend and help young people like her. So congratulations, Stephanie.
Okay, we have a certificate for Stephanie recognizing her win, and you want to present it to you? We got the photo ops, bro. All right. Okay, thank you. Okay, our next scholarship winner is for the Indiana Trio Board of Directors Pre-College Scholarship, and that was Stacy Cardenas. All right. This is our certificate.
I told Stacy that if she wanted me to say some nice things about her, she'd have to give up her chocolate-covered strawberry. Not only did she not do that, she ate mine, so I'm going with speech B today. I can't say enough great things for and about Stacy. She's an outstanding young lady. She's a leader not only in her school, but in our program. She's been a part of our leadership team the last 2 years, presented here at the University of Notre Dame at the student conference the last 2 years. And she is just an outstanding young lady and someone I know that will be successful in everything she does. It's been a pleasure just getting to know her and working with her. She's one of those great students that I feel like I take from her just as much as we give to her in the program. So it's with great honor, great pleasure, I introduce Stacy Cardenas, our scholarship winner. This side or this side? Come up front here. No, it's
Okay, I'm getting the short time is short. So for photo ops, we will do those after the banquet is over. All right. Our Indiana Trio Board of Directors Scholarship for full-time college student, Renisha Smith. Is the by? Her nominator. Is she here? No, that's right. You said she was not. That's right.
Hi, I'm going to just say a couple words about Renisha. I could stand up here and tell you kind of the facts about Renisha, about how she's an English major, how she has over a 3.0 GPA, how she's just the most positive student that you would ever want to meet. But I'd rather just tell you the story of kind of her from this year. She came into my office early this year and she said she was thinking about quitting school because she had just learned from her academic advisor that she was going to have to take a semester off to do student teaching that would not be paid. And when Renisha came in, she said, you know, I work 2 jobs right now to pay the bills to be able to live. So I told her that we would find a way, you know. We would sit down, we would do budgeting, we would see what we could do to keep her in school for that semester. And unfortunately, she is not able to be here today to tell you this herself, but I just want to thank you for helping us find Renisha a way to stay in school this year, and I would just like to thank Indiana Trio for helping me help her too.
Okay, our part-time Indiana Trio Board of Directors Scholarship went to Danina Downey.
All right. Danina is a student who pursued the dream of a degree after many years. After high school, she went into the workforce and then spent several years in the best job at all, stay-at-home mom. She returned as a teaching aide to a local school district and has worked there for almost 12 years, most recently in high school programs for functional skills students. When Danina began her college career at Ivy Tech, she was surprised by her own ability. Though she had always been hungry to try higher education, she had questioned her ability to succeed in that arena. As she began her coursework and received encouraging and positive feedback, her commitment to her long-held goal intensified. She's overcome multiple barriers to continue to stay in school, including financial need and some difficulties with the financial aid system that have kicked her out of some eligibility. So this is very meaningful for her to be able to have this opportunity to continue as a part-time student, mom, employee, and go to Ivy Tech.
I'm going to ask Joseph Flores to come and receive the Mayotte Board of Directors Scholarship recipient for the state of Indiana. For Jennifer Douglas, she is one of our students. This is one of those students that you want to have. When we went on a college trip back in the fall, we went to Michigan for a college tour, and I asked all of the seniors, I need you to have the application done, I need you to have all of this, that, and that done, so that if you want to apply, you could. And so Jennifer came with her portfolio, this huge folder full of all of her accomplishments forever. And that's the type of students that we are trying to nurture. So this belongs to Jennifer Douglas.
Okay. You know, I kid around a lot, right? Okay. Years back, I used to call her Jennifer Douglas. And I said, can you sing? And she would be real quiet and smile. Always has a smile. But one accomplishment that she did, most of you know that in our Upper Bound program, our students as early and sophomores take college courses for credit. And between our junior and senior year, the rising seniors, we always have our juniors take 6 hours of college credit during the summer to go 8 weeks. And they have to take a placement test because one of the classes is the required freshman English. To our surprise, we're told by the teacher that of all the students that have gone through Purdue Calumet, she attained the highest score and only a junior in high school. So it was quite a feat. So thank you very much.
Our final person, she applied for the Emerging Leaders Institute Scholarship, which is a new one for MAOP. She was the representation for the state of Indiana, which went on to be in the pool of semifinalists for MAOP, and I don't know yet if she won, but we hope so. Pat, would you come on up and receive her, Kelsey's certificate?
Well, if she doesn't win, we're going to have a recount. Because in my 14 years, she is by far the best student I've ever had. 3.97 GPA, third out of her class. She also is one of 7 children. I'm just going to read her first paragraph in her letter. High school is full of options, decisions, and walk around to every corner. When it comes to college, the decisions are amplified, both in numbers and importance. One decision that has greatly affected my college was becoming part of Educational Talent Search. Since my freshman year, Educational Talent Search has been making these decisions more simple for me. Through our program director, I've been able to explore college options and career paths. I would not be where I am today without TRIO. So I want, on her behalf, she's 5 hours away, last day of school, she wasn't able to come. I want to thank you, and I'm crossing my fingers for her winning the Eli Scholarship.
Okay, as I wrap it up, I would like to have all of my reviewers, my committee members for the scholarship committee, please stand up. We had a panel of college professionals and a panel of pre-college professionals. And because time is of the essence, I will not ask you to come up and get your certificates, but please see me for your certificates. And I want to thank them for their hard work. Thank you. Good job.
Next, I would like to invite, already at the podium, Miss Lori Walkman. Let's greet her.
Every year, it's my great honor to serve on this committee. Although sometimes I do it alone, I always sequester or nab people to help me at the last minute. It's this committee, or these awards that I do, are to honor us, the professionals, because we are selfless individuals. We give of ourselves every day for our students, and a lot of times we forget to honor ourselves. And several years ago, or many, many years ago, there were 3 awards set up. And we've tried to do the history behind these awards, and if you go to our website, we've tried to place the history of each award on there. And as of today now, I've learned that Fred Williams has somewhere in his background the history to Bertha Jones, so that will be published soon, because that was the piece that was missing. Nobody seemed to know about Bertha Jones. But anyway, So these awards are honoring people who work in the trio profession or work to promote the trio profession. Okay, they're us. So, how do I do?
The down arrow button. Oh, these Macs.
Yes, these Macs. I'm an Android. And please excuse me if I do not pronounce these correctly. Okay. The first award is the Bertha M. Jones Award. And this goes to, as we honor, trio alumni. This goes to, Beth, help me. Josefina Cervantes. Would you like to tell your story, or do you want me to read what Beth wrote?
Just read it, and I can say a few words.
And Beth can talk? I think I'm going to let Beth read. Do you have your voice?
I do.
Okay, good.
Thanks. All right. According to Wikipedia, the year Josefina was born in Mexico, which I will not mention, there were 1,981,363 live births. One of those babies was a little girl named Josefina. That little girl lived with her family in Guadalajara. I do not say that as beautifully as she does. She grew up there, going to school, playing with her friends, and dreaming about her future. One of her dreams included education. She wanted to go to university and study accounting, but life did not take her in that direction. Instead, Josefina went to work. By age 10, she was working to help her mother provide for her family, which included 3 younger siblings. She continued to go to school, but her dreams for higher education slowly faded. In 1990, Josefina had the chance to move to Los Angeles. She pursued that opportunity, intent on work, not school. But once in LA, Josefina felt her dream revive. She knew she wanted to learn English, so she enrolled in a class in 2001. After that, she thought she would aim to complete her GED. And once she achieved that milestone, she began to ask herself, why not? Why not revive the dreams of her younger self? So she enrolled in a community college and began her new educational journey. I am so impressed with someone that can learn a foreign language at the age of 35. Majorly impressive. I do not think I could pull that off. Soon, life threw Josefina another curve. She and her family in 2005 moved their young children to New Haven, Indiana, and in short order she enrolled at Ivy Tech Community College. There, Josefina found trio. It was love at first sight. On the day of her orientation, and I feel bad, I don't remember this, Josefina tells me that I made a presentation to new students about the trio program. She says that after the presentation, she was motivated and finally felt she had found a service and a group of people to guide her through college. Using the information from the trio program, she found our office, enrolled, and was on the way to her childhood dreams. She says, trio helped me find my educational plan, and they helped me find my strength. And that was the beginning for Josefina. She, at Ivy Tech, completed the Associate of Science in Human Services, graduating cum laude, and was honored with the Melvin L. Curtis Award for Academic Excellence, the highest honor that the Northeast region of Ivy Tech bestows on a student each year. And she was the winner for 2008. She went on to IPFW and completed her bachelor's degree, also in human services. I have a feeling I can't look at her as I keep reading this. Josefina has been employed in her field, the field of social work, providing counseling and instruction to many in the Fort Wayne area. Massive list of employers and volunteer efforts. I challenge, there's probably very few people in this room who have the volunteer experience that Josefina has put in. To fully appreciate what she does, one must look at her record of volunteerism, which goes far beyond just the resume. In the Fort Wayne area alone, Josefina has worked with the Center for Nonviolence, Hospice Home, the Hispanic Coalition, Matthew 25, Health Visions, and Project Impact, and probably others I'm not even cognizant of. She gives of herself unreservedly and teaches her sons by example. Most recently, she added a new title to her list of accomplishments when she came to work for our TRIO program as a TRIO coordinator. Josefina now gets to offer to others the many advantages that were offered to her. We're very pleased to welcome her to our team and pleased that she has chosen to return to the place where her academic quest began. She's an outstanding example of a student who has prospered due to their involvement with TRIO and come a long, long way from their beginnings. I'm very pleased that she was awarded the Bertha M. Jones Award. She really is 1 in a million, or to be precise, 1 in 1,981,363.
For me to be here is like a dream. I never thought in my life even to have this wonderful food, and always say, thank you, Beth, for giving me the opportunity to give back to the community. Also, when I was in school, when I was in Ivy Tech, my two sons, they went to high school, and they joined the Upper Bound program. For me, TRIO means everything. TRIO helped me to balance my family life, and Roxanne, Lydia, Ron, Yesenia, how many times I was in your office, talking about my children, worried about my boys. But thank you for TRIO, because my children, my two boys, they were doing something when I was in school or working or volunteer. Also, team, thank you so much for all your support. I remember one thing. One time I was in the computer lab. I felt very frustrated. I forgot about my frustration. I forgot what happened. But I came out and I saw you, and you say, Josefina, you can do it. Don't give it up. I still remember that phrase. I forgot about everything else. But thank you so much for all your support. Thank you, TRIO. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you, Roxanne. Thank you, Beth. TRIO helped me to accomplish my dream. Thank you very much.
TRIO works. We need her story in the fact book. Yes, I think so. Beth, you're not going far. Our next award goes to someone that we're all very familiar with. We used to have him here every year at our conferences, and then he stepped away, as Fred would say, to hard money. But we didn't let him get away too far. We're bringing him back to honor him. Down? I gotta get the down arrow. I went down too far. There we go. I'd like to introduce Mr. Tim Ross, but we're going to bring Beth up to read your nomination.
Okay, I made it through that one. Let's see if we'll make it through this one. Tim is probably the best boss I've ever had. We started together with TRIO in 2005. Me as his assistant director, him as the director. I've since become the director, but it is so nice to still have him around at Ivy Tech. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Tim came to TRIO as after he retired from the Army after a 24-year career as a retired first sergeant. His last job for the Army was teaching leadership at Princeton University. After that experience, he knew he wanted to find a place in higher education. When he read the job description for director of the new TRIO SSS program at Ivy Tech Northeast, he felt the job had been written just for him. He joined Ivy Tech Northeast in September of 2005, assuming the directorship of the brand new baby Trio SSS program there. Tim quickly developed a deep and lasting commitment to the ideals of the Trio program. And as a side, I've had 3 children since we've worked together, and so as much as he nurtured the baby program, he also allowed me to nurture my babies and put up with my maternity leaves and my I didn't sleep last night, leave me alone this morning, all those kinds of things.
During my first ever grant presentation.
Yes. Didn't time that one well. Over the course of our first grant from 2005 to 2010, Tim dug in to set the program on a firm foundation. It would have been easy to become bogged down in the work and the worry, but Tim forged ahead. He began to sort the applications that were already waiting for us when we started and began to work with students. And in that undertaking, his understanding of what TRIO really means in the lives of individuals began to grow. As you all know, they teach us as much as we teach them. If we listen to them, they tell us what we need to do our jobs. In time, he saw all of our students' dreams. The single mothers, worried, torn between the present needs of their families and their own determination to build a future. The young men, rootless and angry, belligerent with the frustrations of wanting to be and to have more in life, yet not knowing where to start or how to stick to a job. The senior citizens, still full of hope after lives of hard work, returning to education and finding the unexpected delight of self-discovery. And those burdened with disease or disability, addiction, incarceration. Tim's perceptions were shaped by every TRIO student, even the ones who disappeared along the way. Those ones that we always wonder, what happened? What happened to so-and-so? And in their stories, Tim saw glimpses of his own. In many ways, he knew their stories from the inside out. He earned the right to encourage and advise by having himself walk some of the roads that our students walked. He himself could acknowledge the struggles of addiction and recovery. He knew firsthand the fears and hesitations of returning adult students. Having taken 24 years to earn his own bachelor's degree, he was committed to the idea that no one should have to repeat that experience, that was the hard way to do it. He earned his master's degree during our first years with TRIO, and so he could speak with heartfelt authenticity at the stress of being a student, a family man, and a full-time job. At the same time, he could put his own stresses aside and continue to inspire our students. Tim learned along the way what it means to serve those who are underrepresented in higher education. Tim met with success as a TRIO director, guiding the program into a second grant cycle in 2010. Consistently, he extended himself on behalf of TRIO students. As these things go in life, Tim honed his skills to the point that he attracted the attention of those outside the department. A new department was being formed at Ivy Tech, combining the first-tier services of admissions, financial aid, bursar, Veterans Affairs, and the registrar. And who better to take the helm than the guy who runs TRIO, which already does it all. So recruit him they did. Thus, Tim moved on from serving TRIO directly, being tapped for the leadership of what is now called the Ivy Tech Express Enrollment Center. Yet in some ways, his influence is still felt. He can now promote TRIO to all students, or at least many students entering Ivy Tech, not just those who find their way to TRIO through our outreach. He continues to strive to connect every student with the resources they need, and he continues to hone the relationships that benefit students personally and professionally. He also serves in an unofficial advising capacity to me as a new director, including during our APR when I had baby number 3. For which I'm forever grateful. I was like 3 weeks away from birth, and here comes the APR on time for once. Go figure. Couldn't have been the year they were late with having all that due. So Tim happily stepped in and completed the reporting requirement for me. In addition to continuing to serve as an unofficial advisor to the TRIO program at Ivy Tech. He willingly gives of his time, despite the fact that there are now many demands on that time. Called to leadership in his new department, Tim has moved outside of the TRIO profession. Yet his heart for students, his compassion for their trials, and his commitment to empowering those who need assistance is as strong as ever. Tim continues to promote TRIO as an organization and a standard of service. His influence on TRIO student support services at Ivy Tech Community College Northeast is indelible. TRIO's influence on Tim is just as strong. He is a true emblem of what the Roselle Boyd Award symbolizes.
Give me that statistic again. How many students did you enroll in the time that you've been in your position?
Oh, in the new job?
Yes.
We opened on January 9th. I had 6 staff members doing all the functions Beth mentioned. We served 214 students on our first day. Since opening on January 9th, we have served 8,500 students with 6 people when 22 used to provide those same services. So I really, really want to come back to TRIO because I'm going insane in this new job. There is so much they never told us about. I truly, I posted last night in my Facebook account of all the things I've done in my life. Being a part of TRIO is probably the thing that I have loved the most. And it's been the hardest to give up. It's in my blood and will be forever. Thank you.
Here's some chocolate to make it better.
Right. My diabetes should put me in a coma.
Okay. Okay, now how do I get back to the other one? Do we use the up button? Yeah, there it is.
You got it?
I got it. The last award is the Laverta Terry Award for outstanding service to a TRIO professional. Try hard as we did, several of us, we could not get this person to come here. On June 30th, Mary Scudder will be retiring from the TRIO profession. She has served 17 years as a TRIO director at Indiana Tech. When I received this nomination, it was not a nomination from one person. It was a nomination from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. Two directors, another person she mentored that has gone on to be an assistant professor, several TRIO alums, and we could stand here and read all the nominations, but I especially want to read one. Sorry, Rexy, but I'm going to read Sajay's, if that's okay. This is from one that was a TRIO, he was our TRIO coordinator for a few years under Mary. Congratulations on your retirement and new beginning. I just wanted to take this opportunity to show how grateful I am to have had you as a boss, friend, and mentor. I often refer to you as the mother of another color. I learned so much from you during my time at Indiana Tech, appreciated your sense of humor, and admired your leadership. It was those qualities that made it difficult for me to leave. Thank you for believing in me and for giving me an opportunity to work in the TRIO program. As a former TRIO student, I know firsthand the impact your efforts have made in the lives of TRIO students, as well as my own life. Thank you, and enjoy sleeping in for a change. You deserve it. And that was written by Sajay Richards, which some of you may know because he attended TRIO conferences also a few years ago. So this Laverta Terry Award for Outstanding Service goes to Mary Scudder, who did not come here this year. So, do you want to accept on her behalf? So, on behalf of Mary Scudder, I will accept this award and take it back to Indiana Tech for her.
Mary was my first boss at Indiana Tech, and I would like to think that I took on all her wonderful characteristics. And she's so awesome. She was a really great mentor. And one thing about Mary, she is not one to be in front of people. So this is not, she would always be the worker behind the scenes. So she never would want to be recognized. So it's nice that we were able to do that tonight. So, alrighty. So we come to the conclusion of our wonderful, awesome program, our wonderful, awesome, of our wonderful, awesome conference. This was just a wonderful time getting together with everybody.